Chapter 381. Master Qian counts for what? Even the sky blue card? No, wait, what did you say? The sky blue card. In the middle of his sentence, Su Mingchen suddenly remembered something, stood frozen on the spot, his body trembling like a sieve. Yes. Zhang Zan nodded. He seemed to have mentioned it briefly, I'm not sure if that's the exact name. When Moon Dragon Sect Master gave this card initially, he didn't explain in detail either, just said it was convenient for use within the Wanxiang sect. After Master Qian Yuhuan received it, he was shocked for a while, but Zui City is indeed much different from here, so Zhang Zan didn't think about it at first, only realizing now that a supreme card could actually save money, which stirred his interest. If it weren't for hearing about discounts or even free services, he might have completely forgotten. No, that's absolutely impossible. After the shock, Su Mingchen steadied his shaken mind. Do you know what tier the sky blue Wanxiang card is? Zhang Zan shook his head. Seeing that he genuinely didn't know, Su Mingchen relaxed, looking over with a cold smile. You dare to spout nonsense not knowing. Master Qian said so, explained Zhang Zan. Su Mingchen stood up straight, his eyes brimming with intense disdain. Just a small city sect leader talking nonsense, and you believed him. Since you're clueless, I'll be kind and explain it to you, so you can give up hope. Wanxiang sect's cards are divided into Tier -1, Tier 2 and Grade -3. Ordinary people can handle transactions, store origin currency, destiny plates, those are the so-called Grade 3 cards. Tier 2 cards have certain privileges, such as the free use of some Wanxiang sect artifacts and access to low-end intelligence for free. As for Tier 1 cards, they are only available to subordinate halls, with the right to use items like the Wanxiang steel without any cost. Above that is the Supreme Wanxiang card, given only to hall's masters or elders who have made contributions to the sect, a very high-class tier. All purchases enjoy an 8% discount, and they receive treatment equal to subordinate hall's leaders. Of course, that is not the highest class card. Above the Supreme Wanxiang card is the even more powerful Earth Vein Wanxiang card. This is granted to Central Wanxiang sect elders with significant contributions. Not every elder there has one, even the ancient method elders mentioned by the Zen master just now don't qualify. This tier of card entitles them to 30% off on all Wanxiang sect goods. Even our branches enjoy the treatment of the Central Wanxiang elders. That means, no matter which Wanxiang sect branch you go to, you will enjoy treatment worthy of Life Sea Realm powerhouses. Moreover, that is just the Earth Vein Wanxiang card. As for the Sky Blue Wanxiang card, it's an even higher tier card. As far as I know, there aren't even a handful in the entire mainland. You say you have one, even as a joke, that's not funny. As he spoke, certainty grew within Su Mingchen's heart that the other party was certainly bragging. Jokes should have their limits. Hearing a name from somewhere and speaking nonsense, thinking so would indeed be foolish. The Sky Blue Wanxiang card is that amazing. Just as stunned, Zhang Zan also began to doubt. Even if Yu Longshao was the leader of the Wanxiang sect, he wouldn't possibly give such a precious card for nothing, right? Of course, having explained so much, do you still think the card you have is impressive? Su Mingchen scoffed. Zhang Zan, unable to speak, hesitated for a moment, then said, maybe, it hasn't reached that level, but it should be not bad. How about this, you still help me give it to Master Lai too? Check, no matter what tier it is, I can accept it. You won't shed a tear until you see your coffin. Seeing that after saying so much the other person still insisted, displeasure filled Su Mingchen's eyes. The reason he talked to the other person and followed him here was because of his strength and a bit of sense. Now randomly taking out a card and asking him to try, felt somewhat unreliable. What's your status, to compare with the Qingyan Supreme Direct Disciples? What a joke. Captain Su, you don't want to help. Seeing his expression, Zhang Zan guessed it and frowned slightly. What person is Master Lai? Is someone you can just ask? Su Mingchen sneered, but before he could finish, a faint voice came. Su Mingchen, what are you doing here instead of guarding the teleportation formations? Captain Su quickly turned his head and then saw an elder stride over. His face changed abruptly upon recognizing the person and he hurriedly bowed with his hands clasped. Elder Wu. Su Mingchen was speechless, then after a moment, looking towards Zhang Zan he gritted his teeth and said, I accompanied this person over, he said, has a Wanxiang card of ours and wants Master Lai to confirm it. The elder in front of him was responsible for disciplinary matters at their branch, always strict and rigid. As the guard captain, he should be at the teleportation formations. Suddenly running here was already violating rules. If he wanted to find trouble with him, he could only bear it. So, he thought it over and decided to shift the responsibility to the guy beside him for the time being, as long as it didn't land on his own head. Is it so rare to have a card? Does it need the sect leader for confirmation? Elder Wu frowned. He said it's a sky blue Wanxiang card. I wasn't sure, that's why I came here, Su Mingchen hastily said. The sky blue Wanxiang card. Elder Wu was taken aback. A strong displeasure immediately appeared on his face. Do you know what you are talking about? I know, it's a card. Su Mingchen quickly passed the card in his hand. He said so, I don't recognize it, so I brought it here. Seeing him obviously shirking responsibility, Elder Wu snorted coldly, casually took the card. Just as he was about to scold, his pupils suddenly dilated. Although he had not seen the sky blue Wanxiang card, he could still tell if it was real or fake. The card in hand was carved out of special material, heavy and imbued with a special power, even he with his cultivation could not see through. Instantly, an idea flashed through his mind. Even if this item isn't real, it's certainly an artifact. Shocked in his heart, his fingers couldn't help but touch the card's cloud-like blue trace. Just then, Su Mingchen's voice continued, Elder Wu, I also know this is impossible. How could such insignificant outsiders have such a valuable card? Let's do this, I'll drive them away right now. Every time they come to the Wanxiang sect, they get a beating. Before Captain Su finished speaking, suddenly he felt a gust of strong wind hit his face. Slap. Immediately, he stumbled, almost passing out from a slap. Cry me a river, scrammed to the side. Rushed to look up, he saw Elder Wu, who was just now serious, looking towards Zhang Zan and the other with full respect, holding the card, his hands trembling. May I ask, which of you owns this card? It's mine. Zhang Zan nodded. Esteemed lord, this way please. Knowing that the hall was not the place for conversation, Elder Wu breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly said. Su Mingchen was just a guard captain and did not recognize the sky blue card, which was understandable. As an elder, even if he had never seen one before, he could still discern its authenticity. Especially, the oppressive aura emanating from the card. Not just him, even someone twice as strong might not be able to withstand it. Elder Wu, could it be, is it real? At this moment, Su Mingchen, who was struggling to get up, also came to the realization and couldn't help trembling involuntarily. Let's go meet the sect leader, you come along too. Elder Wu waved his hand and led the way to the room Master Lai had entered, while Zhang Zan and Empyrean Kong exchanged glances and followed. Ellipsis. In the spacious room, Lai Chengyi handed the supreme Wanxiang card to the monk in front of him and smiled as he spoke. How long does the master plan on staying in Tianli City? Don't misunderstand, the courtyard you just chose looked good in terms of both location and layout, but it's not quiet enough. It's fine for a short stay, but I'm worried it might disturb your practice if you stay longer. Miao Nang Zen Master shook his head. This location is very good, thank you for your concern, Master Lai. I followed my teacher here, how long we stay will depend on my teacher's wishes. Teacher. Lai Chengyi was taken aback, his eyes filled with shock. Does Master mean that Blue Cloud Venerable has also arrived in Tianli City? The Buddha has commanded my teacher to find someone and has briefly stayed in Tianli City. Miao Nang Zen Master explained. Wanxiang sect stays out of disputes and is well informed. Since they are buying houses here, the news could not be hidden. Furthermore, they might need to buy information from them in the future, so Miao Nang Zen Master did not conceal the truth, but told it outright. The Buddha's command. Lai Chengyi trembled all over. Although the Buddhist sect's heavenly destiny is tier 2, the Buddha himself is one of the most powerful figures of our time. Not even the overall sect leader dares to offend him, let alone him. Yes. Miao Nang Zen Master smiled and said, now, may I purchase the house? Of course. Lai Chengyi nodded hurriedly. Not only the house, but your identities too, our Wanxiang sect can resolve it directly. He gestured behind him, and moments later, the girl at the front desk came over with several jade tokens. Lai Chengyi handed them over. these are the identity tokens for ordinary Tier 5 citizens. I know venerables and Zen masters may not care, but having these can save you a lot of trouble. Consider it a small token from our Wanxiang sect. Amitabha, thank you, sect leader. Miao Nang Zen master stood up with his hands clasped. Don't be polite, I happen to be free, so I'll escort the Zen master myself. With Blue Cloud Venerable personally visiting, Lai Chengyi did not dare to act big, stood up to personally escort the other, but then saw Elder Wu leading several people hurriedly coming in. Sect leader. Elder Wu stopped him. What is it? Lai Chengyi frowned. Elder Wu did not rush to speak, but glanced at Miao Nang Zen master. Sect leader Lai, this humble monk will take his leave. Miao Nang Zen master smiled slightly, turned, and left. He only took a few steps, his eyes fell on Zhang Zan and Empyrean Kong, but he didn't pay much attention and continued striding forward, soon stepping out of the room. Buddhist sect. Zhang Zan watched the figure leaving and fell into silent contemplation. This monk had cultivated some secret art, giving him an illusion that was obscure and incomprehensible, truly a direct descendant of a powerful clan, certainly no ordinary person. Do you know who this master represents in the background? Stopping me suddenly, do you know how big a loss this could be? As the other figure drew further away, Lai Chengyi's face turned sour, staring coldly at Elder Wu in front of him. Even for Wanxiang sect, having a chance to meet such a high monk from the Buddhist sect would be a good thing. But this Elder Wu had spoiled it. Sect leader, look at this before you blame me. Elder Wu hastily handed over the card he was holding. Lai Chengyi's eyes showed a trace of doubt, but after clearly seeing the pattern on the card's surface, his pupils also involuntarily constricted. Could it be? His fingers uncontrollably caressed it, and the next moment, his body involuntarily shivered, no longer able to contain himself. This is a sky blue Wanxiang card. Where did you get it from? There was already a supreme Wanxiang card which was frightening enough, and now suddenly there appeared the highest class sky blue Wanxiang card. What was going on today? Were all the people holding precious cards coming here? It belongs to this Mr. Zhang Xuanqing, Elder Wu hastily pointed out. On the way here, he had already asked around. This young man's surname was Zhang, named Zhang Xuanqing, and the older one called Kong Shiming, who had just arrived today with the help of teleportation formations. Zhang Xuanqing. Lai Chengyi pondered for a moment, and didn't recall any high-level Wanxiang sect descendant by that name, hesitated for a moment, then quickly stepped forward and bowed. May I ask, what brings young Master Zhang here, any particular requests? The tasks ordered by the Supreme Wanxiang card might be ignored or deferred, but for a sky blue Wanxiang card, absolutely not. Let alone just buying supplies or using things like the Wanxiang steel, even if it cost him his life, he wouldn't dare hesitate too much. Such is the influence and power of this card. Even more effective than the Imperial Gold token from the royalty. I want to purchase a mansion and acquire citizenship to freely move around Tianli City. Zhang Zan directly stated his purpose. Mansion purchase. Relieved, Lai Chengyi's eyes lit up. Just now, I saw that the courtyard next to the one bought by Zen Master Miao Nang is available for sale. May I know, would young Master Zhang consider it? He then took out a map, pointing to a location. Zhang Zan showed a trace of embarrassment. I might not afford it. The indicated spot, near the inner city, was a bustling interchange area, quite premium indeed, but this small courtyard valued at 800,000 destiny plates, even with his more advanced Wanxiang card applying a 60% discount, it still cost 480,000, 4.8 billion heavenly mandate vitality. Impossible to afford. Unexpectedly, the holder of the esteemed sky blue Wanxiang card couldn't even afford this sum. Lai Chengyi showed a trace of perplexion, hesitated for a moment, then couldn't restrain his curiosity, inquiring, may I know, how did young master come by this card? Ouyang, Elder Ouyang Hai. Upon hearing the name Yu Longshao, Lai Chengyi felt indifferent, but his whole body shuddered and his pupils constricted sharply as he heard the latter name. The name Ouyang Hai wasn't famous across the mainland, and many people hadn't heard of it. However, as the leader of one of Tianli City's major subordinate halls, it was a name he was all too familiar with. An authentic reclusive expert who preferred not to leave his seclusion. Though known as an elder, he was actually the master of many elders. In terms of seniority, even Master Bai Shaosheng had to show respect and address him as senior brother. Not to mention others, the ancient method elder who had just contested in magic with the Blue Cloud Venerable was his direct disciple. If a disciple could contend with a Buddhist sect expert without distinction, one can imagine the strength and status of this master. In an instant, Lai Chengyi's gaze filled with solemnity. Tianli City, located at the core of the central region, had 9 subordinate halls from the Wanxiang sect, and being the manager of any one of these was a position of significant status and strength. That was why he was aware of Elder Ouyang's temper and personality. Usually remaining within the sea of moment at the Wanxiang sect's headquarters, indifferent to many things, now he'd personally gifted a sky blue card. Who was this guy really, and what background did he have? Master Lai, do you not recognize him? This Ouyang Hai, a somewhat portly old man, squints when he smiles, looks a bit sleazy. Seeing that the other party remained silent, Zhang Zan thought he didn't recognize him, recalled his appearance, and quickly explained. Enough. Lai Chengyi's temples throbbing. I know Elder Ouyang, and I confirm that this sky blue card is genuine. Calling Elder Ouyang sleazy, he didn't think he was brave enough. Actually, it doesn't matter about the money. With this Wanxiang card, Zhang Gongzi is our highest grade guest of the Wanxiang sect. It's not just about providing you a residence, but even gifting it is not an issue. Fearing that the other party would continue, Lai Chengyi quickly spoke up. Gifting it to me. Zhang Zan was stunned. This was a residence worth 80,000 high-tier spirit stones, just like that. Is this card really that powerful? Indeed. Lai Chengyi nodded and glanced towards the elder not far away. Elder Wu, please arrange it as I just mentioned, transfer the ownership of the residence directly to Zhang Gongzi. Yes. Elder Wu quickly nodded. And also, assign some subordinates and protectors for Zhang Gongzi. Renovate the formations in the courtyard as well, make sure it's secure. Lai Chengyi continued. Elder Wu promised, clasped his fists and said, Master, rest assured, I will handle everything well. Lai Chengyi then breathed a sigh of relief, his smile warming up again as he looked over. Zhang Gongzi, do you have any other requests? Just mention them, as long as our Wanxiang sect can, we will not refuse. No need, that's already a lot, I'm very grateful. Zhang Zan hurriedly returned the gesture. Unmerited favors were not accepted, him providing a house and all these conveniences was already a great kindness. Zhang Zan wasn't shameless enough to ask for anything more. Having this house grants you the status of a Tier 5 citizen, but how can such a status be fitting for Zhang Gongzi? Well then, although I am not talented, I have accumulated some merit points here, why not gift these to you, upgrade your citizenship to Tier 3 to save you some unnecessary troubles. After pondering a moment, Lai Chengyi continued. Zhang Zan was stunned. You can gift these things. Of course. Lai Chengyi laughed. Those on the tombstone outside selling rewards, what they transfer are their own merit points, and if you have a lot, you can even use it like money to buy anything needed. I see. Zhang Zan realized, filled with shock. A little merit allows for Tier 5 citizenship, while purchasing that house required 5,000 high-tier spirit stones. This means, if sold separately, the value of a single point of merit would certainly not be less than 5,000 high-tier spirit stones. From his words, to make him jump to Tier 3 citizen straight away, that would mean, the merit transferred must be over 100 points. Worth no less than 500,000 high-tier spirit stones, and actually, even having that much money, one couldn't just buy it. Thanks for Master Lai's kind offer, I'll find a way myself. Knowing that even if his cultivation wasn't weak, it wouldn't be easy to acquire, Zhang Zan did not accept, instead quickly gesturing with his hand. I was presumptuous. Seeing his sincere refusal, Lai Chengyi said no. More, had a Tier 5 citizen identity token prepared and handed it over. Zhang Zan casually took it, split one for Empyrean Kongxi, and breathed a sigh of relief. He had thought it would take a long while to settle down in Tianli City, but just a card made it happen. Zhang Gongzi might not be familiar with Tianli City. I have some time, let me take you there. Seeing him accepting the token, Lai Chengyi smiled as he stood up. There's no need for the leader to bother, Zhang Zan quickly refused. The other's cultivation was too profound, he couldn't see through it, it was better to keep contact to a minimum for now, even if it was a kind gesture. Very well. Seeing his sincere words, Lai Chengyi knew being too anxious wasn't good, nodded immediately, and glanced at Su Mingchen not far away. "Captain Su, you're here just in time, please take Zhang Gongzi there for me." Su Mingchen's face turned a shade of red and white. Suddenly, his knees softened and he knelt in front of Zhang Zan, continuously kowtowing. "Zhang Gongzi, it was I who was blind and offended you. Here are the 2,000 high-tier spirit stones, now returning them to you. Please, have mercy and forgive this miner's offenses, do not hold it against me." Previously he had mocked the other for not recognizing what was good for him, but seeing the master's attitude now, how could he not understand the extremely high status of the other party? The master had even actively offered merit points, whereas he had used the opportunity to extort. The more he thought, the more afraid he became. Now hearing the master's order to escort the person, he couldn't withstand it, took out the illicitly gained 2,000 high-tier spirit stones. To confess proactively might still leave some leeway, to deliberately hide it, or if he didn't speak until this Zhang Gongzi revealed it, he would be close to death. "What's going on?" Lai Chengyi frowned. "It's like this." Su Mingchen dared not conceal the truth, and quickly narrated the recent events. "Su Mingchen, you've got some nerve." Lai Chengyi's face darkened. Elder Ouyang Hai famously detested evil, and this person had complicated and extensive connections with him. "I've gone to great lengths to gain favor, and now you've set us back to square one. If this news reaches Elder Ouyang's ears, wouldn't it suggest our entire subordinate hall is filled with greedy, extortionate scoundrels?" Thinking this, the master Lai Chengyi was thoroughly enraged. Within the grand hall of the Wanxiang sect, Chu Yufei stood before a tombstone, his worries apparent, head weighed down like a bull's. He, alongside Zhang Zan, was among the experts who had recently arrived at Tianli City. In this city, he was merely a novice, but back in the Zhou Yi dynasty, his name was widely acclaimed. Once, with sword in hand, he slew 3,000 bandits, becoming renowned far and wide. Not yet 35, his cultivation had already reached the pinnacle of Galaxy 6 Dan. However, a past injury left him stagnant for 5 years, unable to break through, prompting the thought to venture to the central region. He intended to take advantage of the territory and resources to strive for a higher cultivation realm. Having liquidated all his savings from over the years and sold everything sellable, he gathered enough for the transportation fees and some leftover. Clutching hundreds of destiny plates, he thought that even here, he could lead a modestly affluent life. Yet, he couldn't afford even the simplest of rooms. Without a room, one cannot obtain citizenship. At most, one can only stay for 3 days before being expelled from the city, destined to wander the outside world. Although no one spoke of what lay beyond the city walls, it was well known that rebels and primordial beasts were rampant. Without the city's protection, survival was not guaranteed. "What should we do?" A gentle voice sounded. His Dao companion, Kui Yunxiang. This Kui Yunxiang, also the leader of a sect, was extremely renowned in the Zhou Yi dynasty. Their union was envied by many, deemed a match made in heaven. But now, these favored children of the heavens found themselves flustered about buying the simplest dwelling, like ordinary people struggling at society's bottom. "We obviously can't afford to buy. Perhaps, we should turn to robbery." As the thought struck him, Chu Yufei's eyes flickered. "Robbery?" Startled, Kui Yunxiang couldn't help but look over. Tianli City surely doesn't permit robbery, right? Besides, rob who? How? Chu Yufei gritted his teeth. This place definitely doesn't allow robbery, which is why it's so safe. I mean, we do it quietly, without letting anyone know. As for the target, naturally it's that Zhang Xuanqing who just got a lesson from Captain Su. Kui Yunxiang frowned. Why him? Isn't he supposed to be very strong? They had witnessed him battling Captain Su, defeating several Galaxy 6 Dan experts with a single sword strike. Rob him, are you sure that's not a mistake? Chu Yufei said, indeed, he's strong, hence he must carry a lot of money. If successful, it should cover a house without issue. As for another reason, he offended Captain Su. Even if robbed, he surely wouldn't dare utter a word. Didn't I just see Captain Su taking him away? They must have reconciled by now, Kui Yunxiang wondered. Chu Yufei smiled faintly, certain, you don't understand men. He openly defied Captain Su and injured his subordinates. Even though he admitted his fault on the spot and was willing to surrender the money, do you really think it would just end there? As a regular man, let alone an expert, having been publicly disgraced, how could he not seek a chance to teach him a lesson? So, I surmise, Captain Su seemingly took him to obtain citizenship, but in actuality, it was to find an opportunity to give him a thorough beating. If nothing goes wrong, he must have already been beaten to a pulp, severely injured. Now, this is our best opportunity for robbery. Once we succeed, all our problems will be solved. I see. Worthy of Chu Lang, such meticulous contemplation. Having heard his analysis, Kui Yunxiang's face was full of admiration. Just as she was about to ask where to find this injured man, they were startled by a thunderous roar, boom, shaking the entire hall. You beast, you're asking for death. Accompanied by the furious shout, Chu Yufei and Kui Yunxiang immediately saw an armored figure flying out of a nearby room, blood spewing from his mouth while still midair. Captain Su. Upon recognizing the figure, both were frozen in shock. The one they had presumed to be quietly disciplining Zhang Xuanqing was now groaning on the ground, the imprint of a slap starkly visible on his face, seemingly near to bleeding. You fool, you damn fool. Another kick sent Su Mingchen flying, the raging elder showing not a shred of mercy, continually landing kick after kick on the not long ago arrogant Captain Su, leaving his nose askew and his clothes in tatters, his appearance utterly pitiful. This. Chu Yufei and Kui Yunxiang exchanged glances, looking at each other in dismay. What's the situation here? This is the captain of the guards, a Galaxy 9 Dan expert, and he was just beaten up like someone's grandson. Just when the two of them were somewhat dazed, a familiar figure emerged. It was none other than Zhang Xuanqing, the one they had just planned to rob. At this moment, the young man rushed over to the Captain Su, who was beaten into a pig-headed state on the ground, and with apparent embarrassment waved his hands continuously. Don't do this, don't do this, Captain Su didn't do it on purpose, and besides, I don't mind much. How about we just let it go for today? Let it go. How could that be okay? As long as I'm here, I won't allow such parasites to exist, they must be taught a lesson properly. Master Lai Chengyi became angrier the more he thought about it. Want to embezzle? Want to make a quick buck? Go find someone else. To target the holder of the sky blue Wanxiang card, do you want to die? Damn it, I surely don't. Is it the person he's hitting? No, it's about making a statement. A statement of fairness that everyone should know about. Who is this person? Seeing this old man so arrogant, beating someone without fear, Chu Yufei could no longer hold back and turned to look at someone on the side. He's the leader of our Wanxiang sect, the other person said in a low voice. The leader. Chu Yufei's face was full of shock. The leader hitting Captain Su, and Zhang Xuanqing, who came with them, standing by, trying to stop it. Can anyone tell me what the hell is going on? Zhang Gongzi, I was wrong, I won't dare to do it again. Seeing the leader heading towards him again, Su Mingchen couldn't hold back any longer and hurriedly went in front of Zhang Zan, kneeling down. At this moment, he was the only one who could save him. All right then. Zhang Zan shook his head and looked towards Lai Chengyi. Master Lai, all this beating isn't good. If it really can't be helped, just offer compensation. Since Zhang Gongzi has spoken, let's leave it be. Su Mingchen, you are lucky this time. Get up and thank Zhang Gongzi for his great kindness. Master Lai Chengyi scolded. Yes, thank you Zhang Gongzi. Su Mingchen kept kneeling and kowtowing, tears sliding down his face incessantly. If he had known this guy was so powerful, he wouldn't have fucking acted tough. While he was feeling regret, not far away Kui Yunxiang couldn't hold back any longer and looked at Chu Yufei, her long-admired partner. Chu Lang, do we still rob him? Chu Yufei's eyelids twitched, wanting to cry. Rob my ass. Captain Su got off lightly for merely offending him. If he really tried to rob, he probably wouldn't live to see tomorrow's second sun. Chu Yufei was shocked into speechlessness on one side, while Master Lai continued to look over from not far away. Didn't you hear what Zhang Gongzi said? If I remember correctly, just a few days ago, you obtained some decent herbal medicine, didn't you? Yes, a Ningxin flower. I was planning to use it to charge towards the Galaxy 9 Dan intermediate stage. I will now give it to Zhang Gongzi as an apology. Su Mingchen dared not hesitate and handed over a piece of herbal medicine. How can I accept this? Zhang Zan bashfully accepted the herbal medicine and stored it into the new world. Although he had never seen this kind of herbal medicine, the surging aura that leaked out was of great help to the soul, and without guessing, he knew it must be valuable. Apologizing and also giving gifts. Qui Yunxiang swallowed and looked at her partner. Could it be, he'll also return those 2,000 destiny plates he got from this Zhang Xuanqing? Most likely. Chu Yufei nodded and then said, but what if he returns them? That amount of money still isn't enough to buy a house. No matter how high your status or how much respect you receive, what's the point? Without a house, you're the same as us, unable to obtain citizenship. Before he could finish speaking, Master Lai's voice came again from ahead. Elder Wu, please take Zhang Gongzi and handle the house transfer while you're at it. Yes, Elder Wu nodded. Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. Chu Yufei was bewildered once more and looked at the young man who had just spoken, curiously asking, what did the master mean by that just now? Oh, Master Lai just gifted this Zhang Gongzi a residence worth 800,000 destiny plates and told Elder Wu to handle the transfer, the young man explained. Quote ellipsis quote. Chu Yufei and Qui Yunxiang stood petrified, unable to speak anymore. Here they were, two people who couldn't gather 5,000 destiny plates, dreaming about robbing someone casually gifted with an 800,000 destiny plate house. This was not shrewdness but outright lunacy. Ellipsis. On the streets, the flow of people surged. Stepping out of the room, Zhang Zan realized that this Wanxiang sect was just one of Tianli City's 9 branches, and it ranked towards the bottom, situated at the foot of the city, not even within the outer city. Elder Wu, named Wu Yunyi, was a Life Sea Realm expert. By now, he also realized that the identity of the person in front of him might not be simple. Not only did he not put on any airs, but he was also forthcoming and exhaustive in his explanations. The management of the outer city is pretty strict. The guards patrol and inspect daily. As soon as they find someone without citizenship, they'll immediately arrest them. Although public safety here is quite good, most of the people are from other places, making it quite complex. Safety can't be guaranteed, so basically, after dark, there is hardly anyone about. Wu Yunyi explained in detail. Zhang Zan looked around curiously. The city streets were extremely wide, and both sides were lined with all kinds of vendors. After just a glance, he couldn't help but stay alert. Not to mention others, just these vendors alone had cultivation realms that were at least Galaxy Realm. The Spirit and Dharma Form Realm experts who lorded over Bayan City were mostly just undersized kids here. Galaxy 8 Dan experts. After walking a while, he saw that more than a dozen shop owners had reached Galaxy 7 Dan or higher, and even some of the servers had a cultivation of around Galaxy 6 Dan. Truly, this was the central city of the Source World, with experts as common as clouds. Damn kid, daring to steal. You're asking for death. Just then, a scolding voice rang out, and Zhang Zan saw a stall owner taking out a whip and continually lashing it against a young man. The young man looked to be about 17 or 18, rather thin. After a few lashes, blood was already seeping from his shoulder. What are you doing? How can you beat someone in public? Just at that moment, a green-clothed swordsman who couldn't stand by came forward. Yo, here comes another busybody. The stall owner put away his whip, looked up with a sneer, this is my disciple. He ate something without my permission. I'm disciplining him a little, so he learns a lesson. There shouldn't be a problem, right? Then I overstepped. My apologies, the green-clothed swordsman said, cupping his hands and bowing, then turned to leave. Seeing no one else interfered, the young man quickly knelt down in front of the stall owner. Master, I was wrong. From now on, even if I'm starving, I won't steal again, please give me another chance. That's more like it, get back to work. The stall owner kicked him over and strode back to his stall, swaggering. Zhang Zan frowned. This so-called disciple, to be taught skills and fed is already not bad, yet he still dares to be picky and to steal. It's already merciful not to beat him to death on the spot. Seeing his puzzled face, Wu Yunyi smiled. Fed is already not bad. Zhang Zan had trouble believing his ears. In the master-teacher continent, disciples respect their master, and masters respect their disciples. Both are independent individuals who respect each other in order to advance together. How come by his account, it's completely different? In order to become stronger, heavenly beings need talent and more heritage, both indispensable. This heritage is taking in disciples. Wu Yunyi explained, Some powerful heavenly beings have disciples and grand disciples totaling hundreds of millions. Being fed is already not bad. What more do they want? Zhang Zan fell silent. Though he didn't understand, he knew. Living in Tianli City is extremely costly. If one can barely survive on their own, how could they possibly support a disciple? Yet without disciples, their cultivation would stagnate or even regress, resulting in reduced income. Going back and forth like this, a vicious cycle. Indeed, Tianli City is not so easy to live in. Actually, most of these stall owners' subordinates are basically disciples. Wu Yunyi continued, don't underestimate these people. If they hadn't come to Tianli City, in their previous places, perhaps they were masters of a sect or had illustrious names. But here, they're just ordinary folks selling steamed buns and fried dough sticks. Zhang Zan nodded. That was undeniable. Just now, he had seen 2 steamed bun vendors, both with cultivation at Galaxy 7 Dan. Such strength could sweep through the Zhouyi dynasty back home, yet here, they were only ordinary bun shop owners. If it's so hard to survive here, why not leave? Empyrean Kong couldn't help but wonder. Rather than selling steamed buns here and enduring humiliation, it would be better to go back and be a king or emperor. There is the dense spiritual energy here, an abundance of heavenly mandate vitality, a vast array of pills, and high-level experts. Cultivating here progresses faster than outside and advances are more noticeable. Once you come here, how can you bear to leave? Moreover, once you have come, can you return? Local resources have been divided up. Even if you go back, you can't get them anymore. Wu Yunyi said, besides, those who can come here are either geniuses with dreams who want to hit higher realms or experts who have enjoyed worldly riches and are ready for a fresh start. For either type, staying here is clearly better. Empyrean Kong was at a loss for words. Even Zhang Zan couldn't help but sigh. What's called prosperity is but a pyramid propped up by countless pitiable people. Near the inner city, a group of middle-aged men dressed as monks slowly approached a small courtyard and stopped their steps. Miao Nang, is this the house you've chosen? It doesn't seem very serene. A Zen master placed his Zen stick on the ground with a clang, and looked at the monk at the side with a touch of confusion. We're only here to fulfill Buddha's mission and won't be staying long. Before Miao Nang Zen master could speak, a tall old man in the middle, with one hand raised and an expression neither sorrowful nor joyful, said, besides, serenity is a matter of the heart. An unsettled heart will be troubled deep in the mountains, a calm heart will remain poised even in a bustling market. Living here is also a test in cultivation for you all. Master is right, I was clinging to appearances. The Zen master holding the Zen stick promptly bowed in respect. Being addressed as master by these individuals meant that this tall old man was the illustrious monk from the Buddhist sect, the Blue Cloud Venerable. A super master of the Buddhist sect. The Blue Cloud Venerable said no more but looked towards Miao Nang not far away. Did you make any discoveries when purchasing from the Wanxiang sect, or did it all go smoothly? Miao Nang Zen master hurriedly bowed and recounted his experience, reporting to master, all went well. Upon seeing your supreme Wanxiang card, Master Lai Chengyi immediately came out to personally receive me and even offered a 20% discount. His attitude was excellent. If I hadn't declined, he might have personally come to pay his respects. It seems Elder Gu's card is indeed useful. The Blue Cloud Venerable smiled slightly. Although the Buddhist religion eschews anger and ignorance, being respected and flattered by others was still very pleasing. Of course, Elder Gu's status at the Wanxiang sect headquarters, although not as high as Elder Gu and others, is not low either. Your victory over him represents both strength and power. Master Lai Chengyi is just a leader of a minor branch, how could he dare neglect us? If I hadn't insisted on declining, he might even have prepared a higher class citizenship for us. Miao Nang Zen master spoke with pride. The Blue Cloud Venerable said, to elevate one's citizenship requires the augmentation of contribution value, but with Buddhist sect disciples spread all over the world, if we want to be promoted, they can contribute some, there's no need to trouble Master Lai. For ordinary people, earning contribution value is as difficult as reaching the heavens, but for powerful clans like the Buddhist sect that already have countless followers around Tianli City spreading the teachings, over the years, who knows how much contribution value they have earned. Just commanding them to contribute a bit, not even to mention hundreds, even thousands would be effortless. Such is the benefit of having the backing of a powerful clan. What others struggle tirelessly to achieve, they can obtain effortlessly. Master, I am puzzled by something, I hope you can enlighten me, the high monk with the Zen stick carefully asked. Miao Wu is always astute, what could possibly perplex you? The Blue Cloud Venerable smiled. Miao Wu Zen Master looked on with confusion. I heard that Buddha instructed Master to find the inheritor of the heavenly destiny of ceremony and bring them back. If that's the case, why don't we go look for them but rent a house to settle down instead? The surrounding disciples all turned their gazes towards them as well. Not just Miao Wu Zen Master, everyone else was puzzled, their eyes filled with confusion. The Blue Cloud Venerable shook his head. The Buddhist sect cultivates cause and effect in destiny. If finding this inheritor of the heavenly destiny of ceremony is the effect, then what is the cause? This, everyone was full of confusion and did not understand. The Blue Cloud Venerable continued, meeting, knowing each other is the cause. To get to know each other, location, timing, and an event are necessary. Based on my observation of the River of Fate, as long as we buy a house in Tianli City, we will soon have a chance to meet. Since that is the case, why bother searching? Could we meet them here? Does Master mean that the inheritor of my heavenly destiny is already in Tianli City, and as long as we wait quietly, they will appear? Several Zen masters exclaimed in surprise. Buddhist cause and effect, the ability to see through it, and thereby predict the future. They initially thought the master didn't go searching as he had given up on Buddha's command, but it turned out there had been a prediction all along. Indeed, let's enter the courtyard first. This residence has just been purchased and still needs to be thoroughly cleaned and armed with formations. The Blue Cloud Venerable did not expand further, but just as he was about to push open the courtyard door, he saw a group of people striding towards them. There were dozens of them, with those in front wearing Wanxiang sect armor and attire, clearly distinguishing their status. In a short while, these people stopped at the entrance of the neighboring mansion, where the leading manager waved. Quickly go in and clean, arrange the formation, and try to finish it all within 2 hours. Yes. Hearing the order, everyone briskly walked towards the courtyard and disappeared before their eyes. Moments later, the sound of bustling activity echoed from the courtyard. Elder He, wasn't this residence unsold? How come? Recognizing the manager, Miao Nang Zen Master looked on in confusion. The person before him was Elder He of the Wanxiang sect, whom he had seen once before while purchasing property. Just a while ago, during the purchase, this residence was still unsold. He had even hesitated over which one to buy. How had it come to be that in less than a quarter of an hour they arrived to clean and set up formations? They had not received such treatment. After spending over 600,000, they had only arranged for Master Lai Chengyi to plan a visit, with the purpose of meeting the Blue Cloud Venerable. Ah, it wasn't sold, it was just given away by Master Lai to someone else. We are here to tidy it up well and satisfy the other party. Elder He said with a smile. Gifted. Miao Nang Zen Master's pupils contracted. This residence was actually a bit larger than the one they were staying in and more expensive. To give it away directly. Was that true? Why? Could it be, some formidable figure is going to live there? Unable to hold back, he asked bluntly. As to whether they're formidable, I'm not sure, I only know that this person came with a sky blue Wanxiang card. Elder He did not hide it and revealed what he knew. A card, not only gifted a residence but also helped reach the courtyard and set up formations. Realizing the situation, Miao Nang was completely dumbfounded. Not just him, the other Zen masters, and even the Blue Cloud Venerable himself, each felt lightheaded and could hardly believe it. Not only that, Elder He chuckled softly and turned to look deep down the alley. You all go in. Then, a group of subordinates and servants all came briskly towards them, heading into the courtyard. All these, also gifted? Miao Nang Zen Master inquired. Yes. Elder He nodded. Oh my. Miao Nang Zen Master stood awkwardly in place, having previously boasted about how high grade and amazing the Master's supreme Wanxiang card was. Now, suddenly, it felt insignificant. Chapter 387. The high monk from the neighboring Buddhist sect was already rendered speechless with shock, even though the person in question hadn't arrived yet. By this time, Zhang Zan, with Elder Wu accompanying him, had been touring the outer city for a good 2 hours, before finally making his way to his residence, still not fully sated by the experience. It had to be said, Master Lai was indeed generous. Although the mansion wasn't as large as the one purchased in Zui City, the decorations were even more luxurious, and there were dozens of various types of rooms, including several silent chambers and practice grounds for cultivation. The most crucial point was that there were sophisticated formations set up both inside and outside the compound. Once activated, nobody would take notice, even if life and death battles were taking place within, not to mention mere cultivation. Sun Chang, you stay in the mansion and don't go out, meanwhile, manage the subordinates and set the rules. After saying goodbye to Elder Wu, Zhang Zan released Sun Chang from the suspended realm, gave him a few instructions, then left with Empyrean Kong Shi. With the aid of the Sky Blue Wanxiang card, he had obtained a residence and a citizen identity, but Sun Chang and the others had not. Moreover, to enter the inner city, one would need the status of a Tier 3 citizen, which meant at least 200 contribution points. Since he had some free time, it wouldn't hurt to go out and see if he could earn some extra points for contingency. Even if he couldn't earn points, it was essential to understand the rules so he could devise a plan for the future. Ellipsis. Inside the Wanxiang sect, Lai Chengyi slowly stood up when he saw Zhang Zan and his companion being taken away by Elder Wu. With a leap, his figure flickered a few times and arrived at a teleportation formation. To the headquarters. Stepping onto the platform, Lai Chengyi turned his head to give instructions. Yes. Several guards gathered around, all simultaneously activating the formation. Buzz. With a clear hum, the formation instantly became operational, and a dazzling glow enveloped him, turning him into specks of light that disappeared from the spot in the blink of an eye. When he reappeared, he was already on an isolated island surrounded by a vast ocean with 8 towering tombstones piercing the firmament, each hundreds of meters tall, seemingly endless at a glance. Who goes there? After stepping out of the formation and taking a few steps, a guard blocked his path. I am Lai Chengyi, the leader of the Tianli City suburban branch, and I wish to visit Elder Gu. Lai Chengyi bowed. Yes. Recognizing the name, the guard didn't dare to delay and hurried off, only to return shortly after, bowing with clasped hands. Master Lai, this way, please. Following one after another, they arrived at a side hall where a refined middle-aged man, holding a brush and managing a jade book, stood quietly inside, bending over a desk, writing something. Elder Gu. Lai Chengyi bowed with clasped hands. Master Lai, you've arrived. Elder Gu looked up, smiling slightly. Please have a seat. I won't sit down. I'm here to inquire about a matter and will leave as soon as I'm done. Knowing that the other party had a tight schedule, Lai Chengyi didn't beat around the bush. Although it was confirmed that the Sky Blue Wanxiang card in Zhang Xuanqing's hand was real, as a branch leader, he had to understand exactly what was going on. He couldn't be clueless about giving away a mansion worth 800,000. Besides, it was also an opportunity to take credit for his actions. Master Lai, please speak. Elder Gu paused his brushwork, looking over with curiosity. It's like this, someone appeared today with a Sky Blue Wanxiang card. Lai Chengyi detailed the day's events. Elder Yang Hai's status was too high, so he wasn't qualified to meet him, so he came to this elder instead. You're saying that Zhang Xuanqing claimed the card in his hand was given by his teacher. After listening to the explanation, Elder Gu was slightly astonished and clearly not too familiar with the situation. The other party claimed so. Lai Chengyi hurriedly said. I'm not aware of this matter either. Please wait here for a moment, I will inquire about it and return shortly. Elder Gu turned and left. As Lai Chengyi waited anxiously, the elder hurried back after a while. Master Lai, I have confirmed with my teacher, and he indeed has issued a Sky Blue Wanxiang card to someone. If indeed it is this person, I hope you will treat them with the highest regard of the Wanxiang sect. If you do well, you will be eligible for an assessment to return to the headquarters in 6 months. Elder Gu said. Yes, thank you for your support, Elder Yang. Lai Chengyi's eyes shone with excitement. Under normal circumstances, even in 10 years, he would not be qualified to enter the headquarters. But now, just by serving this holder of the Sky Blue Wanxiang card well, he could return in nearly half a year. It was obvious that the young man held a terrifyingly high position, Be off then. Elder Gu waved his hand, adding, "Oh, my teacher mentioned there's no need to disturb him unnecessary, but if the person requests help, try to fulfill it as much as possible. Your subordinate understands." Lai Chengyi nodded and then left. Indeed, the trip was not in vain. He had gained a promise and benefits and now understood the true status of the young man. Upon leaving the headquarters and using the teleportation formation, Lai Chengyi quickly returned to his own branch. After hesitating for a moment, he called out. Soon, a middle-aged man dressed in black approached, greeting Master Lai. Lai Chengyi hurriedly helped him to stand. "Elder Qi Tianming, I summoned you here because there's a matter I need assistance with." "Master Lai, you're too polite. Just speak, and I shall do my best," Elder Qi Tianming replied promptly. Lai Chengyi said, "You are the strongest among our Wanxiang sect's hidden pieces, though you hold the title of elder. You've never appeared in public, hence no one knows your identity or strength, making you perfect for staying concealed. This time, I'd like to ask you to pose as an attendant and infiltrate a mansion." "A mansion? Could it be one of the royal nobles of Tianli City?" Qi Tianming asked with a grave expression. Many powerful clans have their hidden chess pieces for tasks that aren't meant to see the light of day. Although Wanxiang City is a neutral force, they too possess such individuals. So-called neutrality doesn't imply weakness nor ignorance of the darkness, but rather having the means to counterbalance those powerful clans without resorting to using them lightly. Otherwise, with the vast wealth and influence of the Wanxiang sect, they would have been eradicated long ago, with nothing left to this day. It's not that. It's just a minor figure whose cultivation is merely Galaxy 6 Dan. Lai Chengyi briefed. "Once you arrive at his mansion, disguise yourself as an ordinary guard and report to me everything you see. Also, ensure the person's safety. Absolutely no mishaps can occur. Protect him without being discovered, right?" Qi Tianming came to an understanding. "Correct." Lai Chengyi nodded with a smile. "If you accomplish this task, I will regularize your position, bringing you back into the light, and I could even recommend you as the next head of our branch." "Yes." Hearing that he could return to the light, Qi Tianming's eyes reddened with excitement, as he bowed deeply in gratitude. "Rest assured, Master Lai. Your trust will not be misplaced." "Good. This person is called Zhang Xuanqing. All the servants and guards in the mansion have been arranged by me, infiltrating it shouldn't be difficult." Lai Chengyi made his arrangements. Chapter 388. After thoroughly understanding the task and the relationships between the characters, Elder Qi Tianming finally left the Wanxiang sect and headed towards the manor close to the inner city. In no time, he entered the manor and, under the arrangements of Elder He, smoothly became a guard and blended into the crowd. To become an elder of a Wanxiang sect branch, his strength must have already reached the Life Sea realm. With such cultivation, he assumed he would be sent as an undercover agent to an enemy power. Instead, he ended up at such a small residence. Truly a waste of talent. Oh well, I'll just observe for a while then apply to return. Seeing that the guards and subordinates here scarcely surpassed Galaxy 3 Dan, he had no choice but to hide his true strength and felt somewhat helpless. Choosing to be a covert piece, he naturally doesn't fear danger and fantasizes about an illustrious, remarkable deed that will live on through the ages, only to end up with such a simple task. The leaders of the 6 sects underestimate me. He couldn't help but shake his head. Surely, Master Lai must think his abilities insufficient to assign him such a task. Merely to monitor some inconsequential people from out of town, any guard could be assigned. To use a covert agent that had been embedded for so many years in such a way, what is Lai Chengyi thinking? The more he thought about it, the more depressed he felt. Despite his anger, he also knew that once a task was accepted, it could not be abandoned halfway. He immediately followed behind the numerous guards, planning to take a closer look at his surroundings to see if he could find something different when he heard someone shouting. "Everyone hurry up, Butler's son wants to see you all and have a few words." "Butler?" Elder Qi Tianming was startled and curiously asked a nearby guard, "Is it Elder He?" All subordinates here were brought over by Elder He's selection. If there indeed is a butler, could it be him? Of course not, he is brought by young Master Zhang Zan, it's someone called Sun Chang. The guard hesitated for a moment and then thoroughly explained what he knew. Sun Chang. Although Qi Tianming was puzzled, he continued following the others without asking further and quickly arrived at the courtyard. On the steps directly ahead, a plump fat man stood quietly above, one hand behind his back, his forehead tilted at a 45-degree angle, his gaze filled with a trace of severity and solitude. The crowd arrived, and he didn't turn his head, like a statue. Is that Sun Chang? Qi Tianming wondered. Could this guy be seriously ill? He called them over but didn't look at them. What is this about? His eyes narrowed, inspecting carefully. His cultivation seemed only at Galaxy 1 Dan, not too impressive. If his cultivation were higher, this posture would give off a transcendent, hermit-like aura, but as it was, something felt off. Butler, everyone is present. A subordinate called out after a while with a salute. Sun Chang, his chin towards the people, began to speak slowly in a faint voice. Since you have come to Zhongxi's residence, you must follow the house rules. I don't care what you did before or where you are from. If you dare cause trouble here, there is only one path for you, that is being kicked out, never to be employed again. Yes, everyone nodded at the same time. May I ask, what are the rules of Zhongxi's residence? A subordinate couldn't help but shout out. Very simple. Sun Chang's voice continued, young Master Zhang Zan's orders are absolute, there shall be no objections to his commands, nor is it permitted to challenge them. If the young master gives no orders, my words are the standard, no disobedience will be tolerated. We have no problem obeying the young master's words, but to unconditionally listen to you, wouldn't that be going a bit too far? Just then, a subordinate, who was not weak in cultivation, noticed Sun Chang's strength, and spoke with slight dissatisfaction. As a subordinate, his own cultivation had reached Galaxy 3 Dan, while the other was only at 2 Dan, why should he listen to him? They were recruited by Elder He to serve young Master Zhang Xuanqing. As fellow subordinates, why was this one so arrogant? Dissatisfied. With an eyebrow raised, Sun Chang looked over. Accompanied by a snort, an overwhelming sense of oppression came rushing forth, instantly filling the small courtyard as if engulfed by a giant wave, as if everyone was facing an oncoming tsunami. The questioning subordinate turned pale and involuntarily took a few steps back. At this moment, he felt like he was targeted by a ferocious tiger, as if he could be torn to shreds at any moment. Elder Qi Tianming's pupils also contracted. With his strength and knowledge, he could tell the source of this power. It wasn't from cultivation, but from the first-level destiny. The power of the first-level destiny, could this butler be a descendant of the fragments of the heavens? His body shook, fists clenched. The power of the first-level destiny, even a mere descendant with a sliver of its inheritance, is someone he couldn't possibly rival. As the other showed fear, Sun Chang made his way down the steps, with each step his aura strengthened a notch. 3 consecutive steps, and he turned into a towering giant wave, ready to engulf everyone at any time. Are you trying to challenge my authority? Sun Chang's icy voice echoed slowly. The eyes of the subordinate showed signs of evasion. For some reason, despite being stronger than the other, he didn't dare to respond to the challenge. Seeing his attitude, Sun Chang nodded in satisfaction, waved his hand grandly. I'm warning you, here, you are to like my words, listen to them, dislike them, still listen. If you dare to defy, I don't mind teaching you some manners. Boom. An even greater oppressive force filled the air, and in the blink of an eye, Elder Qi Tianming felt that Sun Chang, though not very strong, gave off an imposing presence, like a towering mountain range that was impossibly high to reach. Especially that confidence and arrogance in his gaze, he seemed like an emperor who looked down upon all beings, accustomed to countless storms and tribulations. Bang! A water jar exploded not far away, showering clear water in every direction, startling everyone and making them shrink their necks in unison. It was at this moment, all of Sun Chang's aura suddenly retracted and the oppressive feeling in the yard vanished in an instant. Everyone looked again to see the plump figure, still with one hand behind his back, still gazing skywards at 45 degrees, like an expert from a realm removed from this world. Could it be that the so-called Galaxy 2 Dan is all a guise? Pupils constricting, a thought surfaced in Elder Qi Tianming's mind. If he himself could pretend, surely the other party could too. Yes, it must be so. If not pretending, why would a mere Galaxy 2 Dan have such confidence and presence? Especially those eyes, that tone, as if to say, all present are nothing but trash. This butler is no ordinary man. No wonder the leaders of the six sects sent me to be undercover. Elder Qi Tianming had a sudden epiphany. If a mere butler is so formidable, one can't imagine what young Master Zhang's figure would be like. Suddenly, he felt that Master Lai did not look down on him. Perhaps this task was not as simple as he imagined. Chapter 389. Here we are. Zhang Zan and Empyrean Kongxi walked along the street for half a tea time, and a tall building appeared in front of them, the Citizen Registration Office. This is where the Tianli dynasty determines the tier of its citizens, and it is also the place for distributing and earning merit points. Before even approaching, they saw a long queue, spanning hundreds of meters. Upon inquiry, they found out that these people had all earned some merit points and specifically came here to advance to Tier 5 citizens. Taking a closer look, there seemed to be a few familiar faces, the cultivators who had previously traveled with them via the teleportation formations, probably having bought houses and planning to settle down first before thinking about practicing or making a living. Showing the tokens that represented their citizen identity, Zhang Zan and Empyrean Kongxi walked directly into the hall. Isn't that Zhang Xuanqing? How did he get in directly? To enter and leave the Citizen Registration Office freely, one must have obtained citizenship. Could he have already acquired this status? He's really wealthy. This guy caused such a commotion, it was hard for people not to remember him. Zhang Zan saw the familiar crowd, and naturally, the crowd also saw him, each filled with envy. They had all agonized for a long time, traded all their treasures and resources to gather enough for a down payment on a house, yet this person not only bought one but also smoothly obtained citizenship, truly a case of, comparing people will drive one to death. Inside the hall, there was a surging crowd, chaotic like a marketplace. Countless people stood before a huge tombstone, somewhat similar to the tombstones of the Wanxiang sect, densely packed with words. Zhang Zan looked over, and it was basically tasks issued by the Tianli dynasty that could earn merit points. Surround and eradicate the bandit Yijiangqing, kill one vice village chief of the Galaxy 7 Dan, or slay 100 bandits to earn 1 merit point. Hunt the Iron Teeth Cold Eagle in the Pingyuan Valley, a complete corpse to gain 3 merit points, its source pill, hooves, or fur to gain 2 points. City Guard is recruiting, requires cultivation at or above Galaxy 6 Dan to apply, pass the assessment, serve for 3 months, to earn 1 merit point. During the service period, food and lodging are not provided, uniform and weapons must be purchased at your own expense. Pill Testing Assistant, test consumption of refined pills or formulas for free, share detailed feelings, death or madness from consumption is not under responsibility, test 10 sets of herbs to earn 1 merit point. Refining Magic Power Assistant, help refine magic power, purify origin chi, starting from 100,000 paths, every refining of 100,000 paths can earn 1 merit point. Ellipsis. The tombstone was densely packed with various methods to earn merit points, strange and unheard of. Lord Ren Fei is assembling a team to eradicate bandits, any volunteers? Don't miss this chance, if successful, there's a great opportunity to earn enough merit points. Eradicating bandits is too dangerous, Lord Han Guang has discovered an ore mine, just follow us to mine ores, in half a year, easily earn 1 merit point, much better than working. Follow me instead. Selling blood can earn merit points, Galaxy 6 Dan experts, just contribute 1 ton of fresh blood to earn 1 merit point, fair pricing, no deceiving the young or old. Collecting fragments of the heavens, 7th level destiny, each worth 1 merit point, grade 6, 5 points of merit, if cleanly stripped, the price is even higher. Ellipsis. As he continued to look, sounds of hawking started resonating around. Here, there were not only legal ways to earn merit points of Tianli City but also the chaotic scalpers of the black market. It was like the train stations of his previous life when there was no 12,306, where scalpers were everywhere selling tickets at high prices. Zhang Zan was full of surprise. The tasks recorded on the tombstone, such as refining magic power and testing pills, were quite shocking, let alone selling fragments of the heavens or blood, being so openly conducted. And the prices were so low. 7th level destiny, which Elder Bai Yi has cultivated the Modao destiny for countless years to possess, can only exchange for 1 merit point. Fortunately, Tianli City does not allow arbitrating killings, otherwise, murders for destiny would surely happen frequently. Are you too new here? I am all-knowing, I can help you choose suitable projects, ensure you are not deceived, each service for 10 destiny plates. Just then, a 16 or 17-year-old servant, smiling warmly, came over. Dressed in dirty and tattered clothes, covered with dust, he looked like a beggar from afar. We can choose ourselves, no need for help from others. Zhang Zan didn't expect such a profession and shook his head. 10 destiny plates are 100,000 paths of heavenly mandate vitality. Previously, Lu Mingguang couldn't gather that much even after spending so much money, and this guy wants that amount just for an explanation. No wonder everyone wants to come to Tianli City, even willing to spend all they have. Earning money is indeed fast here. Of course, while earning is high, so are the expenses. Without leaving Tianli City, the value won't be evident no matter how much one earns. Don't blindly choose by yourself. Many tasks that look easy are actually traps, and some that seem difficult are actually very simple. Don't worry, choosing me for 10 destiny plates will definitely not let you suffer any loss. Despite his words, All-Knowing remained unmoved, instead whispering in a lower voice. A trap. Name one, if there really is one, and it's something I haven't noticed before, I'll hire you to help me choose without any problem. If what you say doesn't satisfy me, forget it, I'll choose myself. Zhang Zan waved his hand. Deal. As if he had known he would say that, All-Knowing's eyebrows raised, and he lowered his voice again. Did you hear about Lord Ren Fei gathering people to fight against bandits just now? Zhang Zan and Empyrean Kong Shi looked at each other and nodded simultaneously. The person recruiting had a loud voice, not only they, but many others heard it too. All-Knowing snorted lightly. After they gather people, they say it's to eradicate bandits, but in reality, they take them out and kill them, strip their destiny to exchange for merit points. Zhang Zan was taken aback, his eyebrows furrowed. Don't talk nonsense here, such blatant murder for destiny, wouldn't Tianli City intervene? Seeing that destiny could be sold for money, he had thought of this. But Tianli City would surely prevent it, otherwise, if everyone were murdering for destiny, wouldn't it be chaos? Of course, they do intervene, but since bandits are all outside the city, once they leave the city, how to manage? Just find a secluded place to kill them, and say they were killed by bandits. Do you think anyone can really investigate? All-Knowing smirked, looking at Zhang Zan with a sympathetic gaze in his eyes. He had never seen someone so naive. Tianli City may seem safe, but in reality, crises are everywhere. Countless people think they have reached the home of their dreams, but heaven and hell are just a thought away. Zhang Zan was at a loss for words. If that's true, it's indeed possible. Skilled cultivators have countless ways to kill without a trace, and without interest, they might kill, with such high stakes, even more so. Chapter 390. How about it? Is this piece of news worth 10 destiny plates? Seeing his expression, All-Knowing knew that his insider information had taken effect, and he looked over with a smile brimming across his face. Not worth it. Zhang Zan shook his head. I never planned on going bounty hunting. No matter how dangerous, it doesn't really affect me. You. Startled, All-Knowing frowned. Then what kind of secret do you want to hear about? I've seen stingy, but never this stingy. And you're still a citizen, that status must have been a gift from someone else. Anything that earns merit points quickly, I want to hear about that. Said Zhang Zan. After hesitating, All-Knowing's eyes flashed with a playful smile. Are you sure? Zhang Zan nodded. Of course. All-Knowing said. All right, I'm a kind soul, I can give you the most profitable piece of information for free, but whether or not you can earn from it depends on whether you dare to take the risk. Zhang Zan. Let's hear it. All-Knowing pointed at a line of words on the tombstone, saying, it's about being a test subject for Forge a grade -1 pill. Other projects require time to accumulate, this one doesn't. If you have a strong stomach and luck on your side, just ingest 10 doses of ingredients in one day to gain 1 contribution value point, and if you can handle 100 doses, you can advance to Tier 4 citizen. Not expecting his suggestion to be this, Zhang Zan paused, then nodded. Indeed, this is the fastest way to earn money. Whether it's hunting bandits, hunting primordial beasts, or even refining origin chi, all need time to accumulate, at the least a few days, at most several months. As for ingesting pills, as long as you don't die, you can keep ingesting indefinitely. It sure is the simplest and easiest. You really want to give it a try. All-Knowing was shocked, his look turned weird. Of course, may I know where to try it? Could you take me there? Zhang Zan asked earnestly. After a pause, All-Knowing warned. Medicine has its 3 parts poison. Newly concocted formulas lack any guarantees. Are you sure you want to try? If it earns merit points quickly, why not? Zhang Zan smiled. All right then. There is a small gate over there. Walk to the end and turn right. There is a small room. Just say you're there to test pills, and they'll arrange everything for you. Seeing him make up his mind, All-Knowing couldn't be bothered to dissuade further and casually pointed out the direction. Zhang Zan looked and sure enough saw a small gate standing there. He nodded in satisfaction and parted ways with the other party. As soon as the two had walked away, a servant also approached, looking joyously. These two seem like new folks, where did you recommend them to go? Test pills. All-Knowing waved his hand. The servant was startled, full of disbelief. Test pills. That's 100% a deadly job, why would you push him to go there? All-Knowing sneered. Wanting to die on their own accord, right? Don't worry about it. There are always some folks who think they're stronger than others, believe their lives are tougher, only to die without knowing how. The servant nodded. Indeed, it's just a pity, to become a citizen only to end up dying here. After speaking, the two of them stopped paying attention and looked around for others they might hook into listening to their analysis. Ellipsis. It's just 10 destiny plates, not expensive, we could totally listen to what they have to say, why refuse? Empyrean Kong couldn't help but look over. Although the person in front of him wasn't too wealthy, he was certainly not poor. Not to mention anything else, the 2,000 destiny plates Captain Su had snatched returned, didn't they? Taking out 10 would still be easy, right? You pay for it. Zhang Zan was speechless. He thought that finding Empyrean Kong would be finding a patron, yet he didn't even have a penny, everything had to come out of his own pocket. Cough cough, I have no money. There are indeed many heavenly mandate vitality in the Zealand Valley, but it's not enough for me to advance my cultivation. Empyrean Kong shook his head. If you have no money then stop talking. Zhang Zan shook his head. Besides, do you really think these people will do the job after taking money? They'll describe all projects as extremely dangerous, and then recommend an activity that benefits them for you to take on. As for how dangerous it actually is, that remains unknown. He understood what these servants were really up to. They take your money on the surface, but in reality, they could sell you off to backbreaking jobs in a flash, from which you can't even escape, while they could make some more money off of it. Since he had already seen through it, why pay? That makes sense. Hearing his explanation, Empyrean Kong paused for a moment and then nodded, then curiously looked over. Are we really going to test pills? You're sure it's safe? This is the most dangerous, near 100% chance of death. Zhang Zan said. 100% chance of death. Empyrean Kong was startled. This time he was truly confused. He had heard of people deliberately choosing difficult tasks for the challenge, but he had never heard of anyone deliberately choosing certain death. Yes, with testing pills, whoever knows the toxicity of the medication best is the alchemist. If they don't want to award you points, they can just replace the last dose with Poison Hall's products. Ingesting it means certain death, but you can only get the reward if you ingest. You could live if you don't eat, but then they can blatantly skimp on you. It's all about playing it out in the open. Zhang Zan smiled. Although he had never experienced it, he had seen all sorts of strange schemes and tricks on his journey from the master-teacher continent. The so-called pill testing was in fact just a prime example of exploiting for free labor. That said, it's not bad. Empyrean Kong nodded. Having experienced history fighting with the otherworldly demon, he knew all about these schemes and treacheries. He was just not thinking about it just then, but as soon as Zhang Zan mentioned it, he immediately understood. The so-called medicine can poison others, but poisoning us isn't that easy. In that case, why not come here to score some points? Zhang Zan said. Empyrean Kong nodded. As a master of one realm, the so-called poisons had no effect on them. If dissolved, they could even act as great supplements to allow for quick advancement in cultivation. When looked at this way, pill testing for them was not only non-dangerous but also a huge opportunity to profit. Let's go. The battle with Captain Su consumed quite a lot of resources, burning part of the mountains and rivers. I need to replenish with some medicinal materials anyway. Seeing he had understood, Zhang Zan continued to walk ahead, smiling. In a short while, the two arrived at the small gate and gently pushed it open to enter. Inside were several tightly closed rooms. Zhang Zan and Empyrean Kong walked to the end of the corridor where a vermilion door appeared in front of them. They knocked lightly a few times and slowly opened it. It was a room occupying several hundred square meters, with a middle-aged man sitting in the middle. In front of him were a large number of medicine bottles, densely packed with hundreds. Behind him, 7 or 8 people lay horizontally on the ground, motionless, foam continuously oozing from their mouths, already breathless. The middle-aged man rubbed his eyebrows in trouble, and then noticing the two, his eyes lit up. Are you here to test pills?